What's that you're drinking?
Tea.
Tea.
In the most UK way.
Very civilized, I can tell.
How are you, Nigel?
I'm fine. How's the weather where you are? Because it's baking hot over here.
It's actually a little cloudy today, so we have a little bit of breathing room when it comes to the heat. But
Okay.
It's really hot over there?
Yes, well over 30 degrees centigrade, whatever that is in Fahrenheit.
Gosh,
I've forgotten. So here we are, everybody. This is Country Music News International, and I've got the pleasure today of speaking to Ms. Kylie Morgan, who's way over there in Nashville, Tennessee. And if you just happen to see a kind of little fuzzy tail go across, no, that's my finger, but if you see a little tail go across the camera, that's one of my cats. You've got dogs. I've got cats.
I did see that earlier. I was like, what was that?
What was that? A strange beast.
I love it.
This is Beanie. Jilly Bean is her name. And
I love that.
I don't know why, but she always seems to know when I've got one of these interviews to do. So she comes up and
she just wants to be the star of the show.
Absolutely. And she just lies herself down on my desk here and wanders around, and she just doesn't want to miss out. Anyway, there we go. Kylie, so you've already told me a little bit that you've had a busy weekend. Well, what else is going on for you at the moment? You've very recently released an EP.
So it's 6 songs on the EP, and I feel like I truly have had all the excitement I missed in 2020 in a matter of like a 2-month time span in 2021. So I'm pretty thankful to just be doing things again. But yeah, I released my debut EP, 6 songs. It's pretty much like trying to fit 10 years of writing and my life stories in 6 songs, which was really hard to be able to choose between. It's like choosing between your children, because all these songs you write are so close to you. So we released the EP. I'm finally back on the road again. Thank God. I had 3 shows this weekend, running on 12 hours of sleep in 3 days, but so worth it because I'm being able to play live music again. Finally back in the studio, about to start working on the next project. And also got engaged a month and a half ago. So
congratulations.
It's just all kind of, happening all at once. So
yeah. So what did you actually get up to in 2020? How did that kind of pan out for you? I mean, I spent a lot of time sitting at this desk working with music software and trying to write songs. What did you get up to?
I wrote a lot of songs.
Right.
I was so blessed in 2020 because even though I wasn't touring, I actually reached more people than I ever have, because we released this song called Break Things. And here in the States, we were just about to push it to radio, pretty much just, my label and I were being like, all right, let's make the big push. Hi, my name's Kylie, introducing me to everybody, did a whole radio tour, visited all these radio stations across the US. And then the pandemic hit. And so all that was altered, but we still released the song and it reacted so well. I think it's up to like 30 million streams across all platforms, especially during the pandemic. I just was able to reach so many people with this song. So many people discovered my music with this song. And so it was definitely one of those things that even though I wasn't touring, I was still being able to reach new fans and hopefully meeting people in the future that I can come see. And so it was a lot, but once I got into the mindset of this is all for a reason, then it became a lot easier.
So I've been watching the Cuss a Little video, and there's Walker Hayes sitting next to you. How did you kind of hook up with Walker? Did you know him before? Or
yes, we have the craziest story. So I started coming to Nashville to write songs, co-write songs when I was 15. And a guy here in Nashville just pretty much believed in me and took me under his wing. And he had a publishing company. So a lot of people were signed to his publishing company. He pitched songs for them, hooked them up on co-writes kind of thing. And so I came and he scheduled me about 5 co-writes. And one of them was with Walker. When I was 15 years old, I started writing with him.
Wow.
And started going back and forth to Nashville, moved here at 19. And then Walker and I just continued to write. And what's crazy too is Walker and I actually wrote Cuss a Little when I was 19 years old, and I'm 26 now. So we just released it last year. And so that song has kind of been in my song pocket for however many years. And I've been playing it live for so long. And I was just so thankful to finally release it, put it out in the world, and it could finally have a home for everybody else's ears. So Walker has been such a huge part of my musical journey. And it's been so nice to continue to like hold on to that history that we had before and continue to write together and make new history.
Do you have a favorite song? I mean, of all the songs that you've written, is the one that you think, yeah, that's it?
It's so funny because it's kind of different for me, whether it's like, if we're talking about my favorite song to do live, or if we're talking about my favorite song to play on the acoustic, or my favorite song to listen to while I'm on one of my nature walks, you know. So I feel like I kind of have a song for each one of those that's my favorite. But yeah, it's truly like choosing between your children, because it's like everything that you put into these songs, and it's so personal and it's so vulnerable. But I will say the EP that I put out, including Cuss a Little before that, those have been my 7 favorite songs of all time that I've ever written. And so it was pretty cool thus far to put those favorites out. And now since then, even after 10 years of writing, the next EP, we're looking at 2 to 3 songs, putting on the next EP that I've just written in the past like 2 months. So it's pretty crazy, the fact of once you kind of like exhale and get that first project out, the rest of what you want to say just kind of comes to you.
Yeah. So what's the kind of schedule then for the next EP? When do you think that's going to be out?
We're looking at fall for the next EP. And then I'm really excited about it because it's kind of all the things I didn't get to say on the first EP. And so the next EP is called PS. So since the first EP was called Love Kylie, it was definitely a short-lived 6 songs trying to fit all of 10 years of my life in that. And now the next one, PS, is all the things that I didn't get to say on the first EP, all the subject matters that I didn't get to cover, and all the live experiences that I want to give my audience now that I'm back on the road.
I mean, do you remember when you first wrote a song?
Yes. I remember it was a song called Dreaming of You. Really great title. And it was written on a pink guitar that I just got for Christmas. I learned my first 3 chords on guitar, and I wrote a song with those first 3 chords. And I was just so proud of the fact that I could go in my bedroom, just me and a instrument, and truly just get my feelings out on paper. And I just like realized it was such therapy for me. And then it was never originally about, you know, like I've always wanted to perform, and I always want to entertain people, and I want to help people with my music. But really, originally, songwriting was for me because it made me feel better. And then once I released my first song on MySpace Music, I saw the reaction, and I realized that creating music wasn't for me in the first place at all. It was for everybody else, because a lot of people don't have the talents that God gave me. And so I feel like I'm this kind of example, and I had this opportunity to put all these emotions into words that people don't know how to say. And so I've been really lucky enough to continue to have a team that lets me release such vulnerable and real songs. Even going back to Cuss a Little, I told Walker when I came in with that idea, I'm like, I want to write what everybody else is thinking and afraid to say. And so I think I'll always remain to do that. And that way people will kind of relate to those as well as me, and continue to just build it and continue to write and release songs that people want to hear.
It does seem to me, I mean, you know, when I'm listening to your songs, the lyrics do seem quite personal. You seem, and, you know, please correct me if I'm wrong, but you seem sort of quite self-confident in who you are as a person and what you want to say as a songwriter. I mean, is that a fair comment to make?
Absolutely. If you want to know how I'm feeling, just ask me, because I'll tell you. I've always been like that. I think that especially as a teenager, having an exercise that you can truly come back to, that you learn more and more about yourself every time you do it. It was always never a question who I wanted to be and who I was as a human. And especially my parents have so much to do with that, with how they raised me, and the confidence they instilled in me at such a young age. So it's been so crazy to continue to grow and build that. And as it evolves, I evolve. And I think people have been able to see that starting this journey at 14, touring full time, to now I'm 26. And I have so many people that follow me that are like, I've been following you since you were 14 years old. And it's been so cool for me to have those people weigh in on the new music compared to the songs that I was writing back then. So it's definitely been a process and a journey, but it's just a blast.
So the critical question is, do you still have the pink guitar?
I do. So, you know, what's crazy is, so being from Oklahoma, we have these things called tornadoes. And
Yes.
I actually lost my home in a tornado when I was 17 years old. And everything was, it was completely leveled, my whole home. And the pink guitar was not touched. No scratches, no anything. And it was buried underneath so much stuff. And it was just the example of God saying, there's a lot that's uncertain right now, but this is the one thing that is certain. And so I always took that as a sign for me.
Yes, it just goes to show there's magic in guitars. That's what
There is. And I also taught my little sister how to play guitar on that guitar. So it's definitely been seeing a lot of stories and a lot of loves and memories and all of that.
Let's make that the final question. Well, anywhere in the world, is there one particular place that you'd really like to play?
I honestly, the only very first time I went to the UK to perform was right before Trump put the lockdown on the US and we all had to go home. So I was there for 36 hours, my first time I've ever been to the UK.
Okay.
And
it's pretty
I
short.
did one show right before Country to Country Festival. And I did the pre-show. And that's when I met so many publications, writers, journalists, radio stations from the UK. And since I was one of the only artists to play the festival because they canceled it and everyone went home, I have had such amazing support from the UK, just being so kind and talking about the EP and getting the word out there. And so honestly, the people were just incredible and they were just so appreciative of my music and it just made me love it so much. So I'm so ready to get back there and actually do like a real tour and see all those people again because they've been so supportive.
Well, if you go back to, where was this? Was this in London or?
Yes, London.
Right. Well, if you go back there, you need to let me know because I will whiz right over.
Yes, absolutely.
Come and say hello. Good. Kylie, thanks very much for taking the time to do the interview with us. We really appreciate it because we really miss you guys over here. I can tell you that for sure.
Back at you.
Yeah. So have a great gig for the next one that's coming up and have a great 2021 and all the best for the EP
so great
that's
talking
out
to you.
and the EP that's coming out later on this year. I hope that really goes well.
Thank you so much. Give Beanie snuggles for me.
I'll just wave goodbye and say thanks again and bye.